It's an excellent preface for what's about to happen here. Last time I did this, I talked about a lot of racism and things like that. But now it's time to talk about the real shit. Primarily, how bad I am at fucking. I don't think that's something everyone wanted to hear about, but it's like a public service announcement to never have sex with me. So let's get started. I'm a very awkward, just like clumsy, self-conscious, self-aware person, and like the first couple times I had sex, it was horrible. Because I mean, like you're there and you're all hormonal and pulsing, and so it's supposed to be like a really fun, good thing, but it's disgusting. Like the slapping noises alone were enough to make me just want to call the whole thing off altogether, and then it smells and juices and things like that. It's an awful thing. I was bad at sex. Arguably still am. But and there's other things that are just terrible about it too. Like I can't take people that like talk during sex seriously. Like on occasion there's to be the one who's like, oh, fuck me, and I'm like, I'm trying to, shut up, Jesus Christ. Things like that, or I try to think of things I'm gonna say, other people say like, who's your daddy? And I fuck up and I'm like, tell me about your father. I was having sex once with a bigger girl. And when we were done, she said, I think you might be too big for me. I thought, funny you should say so. But now that I've made a vague allusion to the size of my penis, let me introduce you all to my favorite word, which is sesquipedalian. Sesquipedalian has several meanings. It can mean someone who uses big words. It can mean a big word. And it also literally means 1.5 feet long. So you can have stupid sentences like, oh, that sesquipedalian man used such a sesquipedalian word as sesquipedalian. Which is a really stupid and ridiculous thing to know, until I tell people that I have it tattooed on my penis. And then they get interest. But due to space restrictions, it starts actually at the back of my asshole, crawls under, takes up a good amount of real estate on my balls, and then has to like candy cane up my penis. So fully erect, it actually looks like I just have the man's name Ian written on there, which has done me no favors. But back to how terrible I am at sex. I used to live in this shitty basement apartment, and the guy that owned the house had these 2 little girls, like 8 years old, whose bedroom was right above my basement apartment. And I had a girl over once, and I was so worried about having those 2 little girls hear these horrible sex noises that I did everything in my power to make as little noise as possible. So there I am on top of this woman, and I'm on this shitty rickety futon that like creaks and makes horrible noises, and I'm trying to keep that as quiet as possible. And so I have like both of my hands on the armrest and both of my feet on the other armrest, and I'm like stretched out like this, like some sort of disgusting fleshy mantis trying to stab this woman to death with my penis. And if that weren't bad enough, like people make noises during sex. They moan and they coo out and they cry. And every time she would like moan, I just kiss her, just like just to shut her the fuck up. Which is also an excellent general strategy when you're dealing with somebody you don't want to talk to. Like, just give them a quick little smooch and the conversation ends. Which has ended badly for me. I've been punched in the face and called a faggot once. So that was awesome. But it's like, so I'm doing everything I can to keep this girl as quiet as possible. And she notices something is wrong with her. She's like, what's the matter? And I say the worst thing, I'm like, oh, I can't stop thinking about the 2 little girls upstairs. And that was the end of that sexual experience. And those 2 little girls will never appreciate what I've done for them. They're probably about 14 right now, and I've never seen what they look like and don't know who they are, but just to be safe, every time I see a little teenage girl, I'm like, you ruined my sex life! You have no idea what I've done for you! Which is why I can't go to any city parks anymore. And it sounds like really stupid and crazy to be so concerned about your own loud sex noises, but I think like the worst thing on earth is to be woken up by somebody else's loud sex noises. It's this really uncomfortable thing because, you know, you're probably asleep at night, that's what people do, and so all of a sudden all you can hear is moaning and grunting and howling, and you know, you just want to go back to sleep, but basically you have to wait until they're done because it was quiet enough already, that's the only thing you could hear, and so you just have to sit there and sit through these people fucking, and there's a lot of things that go through your mind. You're like, Jesus Christ, why would it be so loud? And Jesus Christ, why aren't I fucking anybody right now? And then you get lonely. And then I think things I could do to like try to help me relax and sleep. And honestly, when I'm in that situation, I usually just rub one out. And it's uncomfortable though, because I have these two people that are like, but really it kind of helps the whole thing along. In actuality, it's almost like a form of recycling. Like they're just wasting their excess sex noises, and I'm doing my best to put them to good use. Which is generally, I mean, it's worked in the past. Recently, it's become a little uncomfortable because it's the sound of my roommate fucking one of my ex-girlfriends. I know! Which sounds like it would be a downer, but really it just helps me paint a clearer picture of what's going on. Like, these other people have been mystery sexers, and now I know exactly what's happening. For the most part. There are some sounds I don't recognize, though, and then I'm like, I didn't know that's what was happening. What was I doing wrong? Like, if she wanted me to introduce a couple parakeets into the mix, I'd have done it gladly, but I had no idea. And of course there comes a time where it's just too much and you have to stop and end it, and I don't know, eventually I'm gonna have to confront them and be like, oh, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna kiss the both of you. And that's my red light, right on time. So, no one ever have sex with me, because that's what you're in store for. Anyway, thank you very much.